Hey, welcome back to the table. So we went through the setup and introduction. There were a few things that I missed. The first thing is each character gets 3 money. Every character does manage their own money, but you can freely exchange amongst each other. So I'm just going to keep one company pool. So all the money's together in one place. If there's, for some reason, we start getting events where each character loses 1 or something, then I may have to separate it out. But for now, I'm just going to create a company pool. So we have 12. They call it iron. I'm going to say dollars, so please forgive me. The other thing that I missed is we start the game with a backpack. And we can store up to 12 items in this backpack. When we go on a mission, the Huntress, for example, this is a 2-handed weapon, and this is also a 2-handed weapon. So one of these is going to end up in the backpack. So we can only equip 1. So that's an example of something that would go in the backpack. So it's just something that you don't have equipped. And for now, I don't know if I need to make that decision now, but I'm going to go ahead and put the longsword in there because I want the Huntress to have the bow. So longsword is in the backpack, and I'm just setting that off to the side here. The other thing that we start the game with is we start with 4 allies, man-at-arms, all 4 of them. And I know I didn't describe what allies were too much, but these are people who only enter the battlefield if one of your characters gets knocked out. And basically, if you're playing properly, you should never use these. So, but they will join the battlefield if one of your characters goes down and help finish up the battle. The other thing is you get a free company sheet. Now, they look like this with the game. So you get a free company sheet like that, and then each character gets one of these. I'm one of those purists who always likes to print off my own sheet. So that's what I did. This is a file on YouTube, not Board Game Geek. And you can see the free company sheets at the top and then the 4 character sheets. So we have to name our company, and since this is a YouTube channel, we're called The Tubular. So yeah, very original on my part, I know, but that's what we're doing. And then the penitent is going to be Jeff. Yep, also original. The warbear is Wombat Girl. And then Harbinger is going to be Andrew. And then the Huntress is going to be Yagarin. So those are the 4. My German friend, this was a female character, and I know you're not a female, so I did not want to insult you in that kind of way. So I at least chose the German word for Huntress, because that's what Yagarin stands for. That's German for Huntress, at least I believe it is. So anyways, that was my nod to you, my friend. Always glad to have you at the table. All right, so in case anybody guessed, these are, of course, very common contributors to my videos. Although I have to admit, Wombat Girl likes my my war games more than this kind of stuff. But I'm sorry, Wombat. You're still important to me. So we'll get another war game out at some point. Okay, so that's it for now. And so basically, we're just going to update it and do things as we go. There is an app for this game. So I have the app. We are in Chapter 1. Bastogne, and we first start with, one more thing. The city events and the Deepwood events, the first 6 cards are available, or the rest are still out of the game, and then you have to shuffle them, and then you put them here number side up. So, so we start the game opening Mystery Envelope A and place its contents in the center of the play space. The free company marker on location 21, and place the Chapter 1 time track, which is this thing, beneath the map. Take the Path A card. Okay, so let's find Mystery A. It's here somewhere. Here we go. I'm assuming the map is in Mystery A because I don't see a map anywhere. And yes, that's the map. So we'll get that out. First mystery revealed And let's go ahead and I'm going to be off camera a little bit as I get this thing. And it's literally just the map. It's the only thing that was in Mystery Envelope A. But it is an important thing, so we'll go ahead and get it out. Set it on our board here. So you can see the different locations on the town. And it says that the Free Company marker goes on location 21. So I think this is the Free Company marker, because I don't know what else this is. I can't find anything in the rulebook that tells me what this is. So I'm going to assume it is, and we're going to go ahead and put it on 21, like so. All right, so that's where we're at. We're coming in on Wire Road, and it also says take the Path A card. I'm guessing here. So you're either on Path A or you're on Path B. And these numbered tokens here, see how like that's a 21 right there? There's location 21 right here, right? So when you go to certain locations, you're going to pull these tokens out. So I'm going to just grab one randomly here. So this is location 13. So I don't know where that is on the map. 13 associated with the Broken Oak, right? So that's probably a tavern, right? So when you take this token, you flip it over, and if you're on Path A, you read 13.1, but if you're on Path B, you read 13.2. So it's it controls like your journal entry, you know, choose your own adventure style path. Now, since we're using the app, the rule book says I don't need to pay attention to this because the app's going to take care of everything for me. Let's see how well it works. I like using apps. I know some people don't. As you guys know, I use Tabletop Simulator to play my board games because I'm too lazy to set it up and do all this manual stuff. So I love the automation. I know some folks don't, but for me, I feel right at home doing it. So anyways, we got the Path A card. Just all this indicates is that we're doing Path A when we do something. So that's it. I don't have any words of wisdom there other than that. So let's go ahead and close this.
Green mud sucks at your boots.
And then
every stride a challenge as you trudge through the rain. Your hands grip the thick iron cable of the wire road, pulled taut through rings, sunken into the trunks of hideous trees. For days now, it has been the only evidence of humanity's existence in the deep wood. Clinging to this lifeline has not worked for everyone, though. You are one less than when you left Verum. It was nothing any of you saw, just a thrum on the wire behind you, and then a scream disappearing into the dark. The memory is fresh in your mind, but this is not the time to mourn, not here. As you travel, vines and black tree trunks spattered with sickly pink cysts block your view ahead. Things slither away and rustle through the undergrowth, but they are of little concern. One cannot afford to jump at every noise in this place, or else you'd go mad. It is only when the sounds slither towards you that you need to worry. Relief from walking through this overgrown hell is promised as the huddled profile of the fortress town of Bastone looms in the distance. They are the ones that sent for you. People have been dying here, though not of hunger or of the deep wood. Those don't leave much of a man when they're done. Something else is happening here. Something that is leaving plenty of bodies. The crumbling city walls tower before you. As you approach them, you spot something laying at their base.
okay, so we have to choose. Do we explore the base of the wall or get out of the rain and head for Bastone's gates? Oh, always a tough decision at the start. I'm assuming that there's a little bit of training wheels on for the beginning of the game. So there's probably not a horrible decision to be made. I'm shuffling, by the way. If you're hearing like a sound while this is going on, I'm just shuffling Hold the Decks. I wish it would tell me what exactly it was. So we're in the rain. Okay, so before I make this decision, there's probably some things to explain. This game is basically the tale of two games, right? There's the story mode, which we're doing now. It's very choose your own adventure like. And then there's the encounter. And you do the story, you do the encounter, and then that's the end of chapter 1. And then everybody levels up, and then you go to chapter 2, and you do a story, you do an encounter, and then it's the end of chapter 2, and so forth. So the key thing to bear in mind is, in the setup video, I pointed out that we are at the end of the mission going to gain 3 common items from chapter 2, and then 2 unique items from chapter 1. And that's standard, assuming we win, right? So this represents our timer. So as time goes by, we're going to mark these. And then eventually we're going to, like this, see, this represents nighttime, right? And then this, of course, this is dawn, and then daylight, right? So as time gets consumed, we're eventually going to finish the story mode and then go into the encounter. So if we see that little book there, that means that if we end the story mode and this is not covered up, we're going to gain this token, which is a battle flow token. These, where you see the little down arrows, those are immediate. So as soon as we cover that up, we're going to draw a city event and resolve it. Same here. This one here is our golden prize. This says at the end of the encounter, assuming we win, we're going to get an extra unique item. So instead of drawing 2 unique items, we get to draw 3. So I'm looking at this, and I'm not super thrilled with this, although that would be nice. But I want to end the story mode right here. I don't want to cover this up because I want the extra unique item. So if we dilly-dally and explore the base wall, we're going to consume time. And then we dilly-dally again, we're going to consume more time. You see what I mean? So that's something we have to bear in mind. Now, what I don't have a grasp of is, okay, if I explore this base wall, I'm assuming I'm going to consume one of these times, but what about the rest? Like, how much time do I really need to get what I need to get done? I have no clue. That's the unfortunate part about these choose your own adventures, is you have no idea. So I think, and I did watch a playthrough video of somebody doing this, but I didn't pay attention to what they chose. I know for a fact that somebody chose Explore the Base Wall. It's one of the guys from the One Stop Co-op shop, and I don't remember how important that item even was. There was an item. Without me knowing that, I would have chosen to get out of the rain, largely because I want that unique item, and then also I just want to get to the business of getting out of the rain. So let's do that.
The travel has been hard, and you think it prudent to get out of the deafening rain rather than be distracted. There's plenty to do here before nightfall.
Okay, so we do the instruction. All Oathsworn gain a +2 Animus token, and then place token 22, and go there. All right, so what it's saying is, I think it's saying that we have to, when we place token 22, the terminology is a little off. I think it's saying you place it on the timer here. So we place token 22, and then we're going to go there, like so. All right. Okay, so I paused real quick because I wanted to make sure that the word place means put it here, and that is exactly what it means. So we're putting 22, so the first time is filled up. Totally fine with that. We eventually got to fill it up with something. And then we click on location 22 here and keep going.
As you approach the thick wooden gate, a small slat slides unevenly open, and a weary, coal-caked face peers out. Moments pass as he eyes you with suspicion, taking inventory of your many weapons. Then one of you reveals the mark on your wrist. He grimaces. Free company, let me get this open. The slat slams shut, and you hear chains strain as a mechanism pulls the gate open, swinging out just wide enough to squeeze through. You move into the gateway passage and find it blocked ahead by an iron portcullis, a second layer of defence creating a quarantine area. In the passage with you is a single table, lit by a foul-smelling lantern on the wall. You hand him your papers. I'm sure you know the drill, the guard urges as he thumbs through them. Arms extended out from your sides, he raps against you repeatedly with a short hollow tube of wood. He nods, then sniffs, satisfied you have brought nothing of the deep wood in with you. You've not come too soon. More bodies last night, he says, as he moves to a rickety table in the corner to mark more paperwork. Papers say you're 5. A grim silence from you answers his next question. Right then, an oath fulfilled, I suppose. He looks uncomfortably away and motions towards a logbook with ink and quill beside it. Make your mark.
Okay, so let's do the instructions. Create a name for your pre-company, that's tubular. Define a key attribute of your free company by choosing which of the following statements most accurately describes your company. Man, I wish they would just tell me, hey, I want this or I want that. We are faithful to the oath and to your God. You trust that your arm is given strength by more than mere muscle. I'm sorry, there's like a glare right there. I apologize. You're the last one standing, the ones who seal the breach and protect the innocent. Shoulder to shoulder, you will hold the line whatever comes at you. The deep wood is fierce, but you're worse. You never met a problem that you can't be solved with a sharp edge. Death is a dance you know well. Discipline or death, keep marching, keep moving, keep fighting until the job's done. Press in and press on. I have no idea. So which one represents us? So I know that each of these like translate into a bonus, but I have no clue what the bonus would be. One thing I didn't describe very well yet is that there's these little tokens, or your characters get permanent bonuses, right, as you go. And by the way, everybody gets a +2 animus token. So I got to grab that real quick. I forgot about that. And so these are all different tokens you can get in the game. And the permanent tokens means that you get that at the beginning of every encounter, which is the boss fight. So these are tokens that you'll just automatically get at the start of every encounter. Every token that you have is use it or lose it, meaning that by the end of the encounter, if you haven't used it up, it's forfeit. So these are the +2 animus, and what that just simply means is, you know how you spend them? All what this means is if I spend this token that he has, it's going to let me get two animus like that. That's what this does. And then, of course, if you were a companion, it's a slightly different mechanic, but it's more or less the same. All right, so that's a nice token. We got that as a reward for bypassing, inspecting the wall and getting out of the rain. So now we got to do this. I think thematically, I like the paladin thingy. It's my deal. So we're going to be, we'll hold the line and protect the innocent. I really like the bottom one here. The, keep fighting until the job's done. It's basically, it's how I tell my kids to approach life. But we'll do this one. And some of those bonuses I like more than others. That's why I'm nervous about my decision here. But let's go ahead and do it. All right, so we did that, and let's press the instruction. All right, we get a permanent defense token. Okay, that is one of the ones I wanted. So I'm very happy with that. So basically, what that means is we are going to check the box, because you can have a maximum of 3 of those, right? So at the start of our every mission or encounter, we're going to gain 1 defense token. And defense token, I haven't described what those are, but having defense tokens is fantastic. It helps you to stay alive. And while all these other ones are also fantastic, staying alive is the top priority. And if you guys watched my shot, Skies Above the Reich, keeping your pilots alive was always the top priority, and then the rest of the skills were awesome, but they came second priority. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get done with this, and let's move on.
The guard seals the paper with wax and nods to those outside the portcullis. With a slow grind, the iron gate raises to let you through. You understand your task. Find whoever or whatever is responsible for the unexplained deaths. As you step out onto the main thoroughfare of Bastogne, a sea of unwashed citizens churn through the mud, going about their daily struggle. "Welcome to my glorious Bastogne," a voice chimes from your right. You all turn to the voice. A street urchin, caked in dirt under an explosion of dark hair, leans nonchalantly against the outer wall. "If I hadn't been so clever, I might have tried to lighten your pockets. Looks like you're too much for me, though, right? You come out of the green all bristling with blades fresh from the wire. No, me ma made no fool, and that's why I'll let you pass without paying my toll. Now, I know what you're thinking. We need that kind of charitable citizen to show us around. Well, usually I'd say no, what with all my responsibilities around town. But for you, I make an exception. For today, and I make this place feel like home for you. Get you anything or anyone you need. Take you anywhere you want and keep you from running into the less reputable around here."
Ooh, 4 iron is a lot. So we can ignore him and navigate Bastogne alone or negotiate with the boy. Okay. Some of the things from the rule book is, for example, there's an apothecary where we can buy curatives. So if we ever take injuries, those curatives get mixed into the injury deck. I explained this a little bit during the setup. When they get mixed in with the injury deck and you draw a card from that deck, if you draw one of those curatives, then you actually don't get an injury. So it's sort of like a nope card. And so if you fill up the injury deck with as many curatives as you can, then that's going to greatly increase your chance that you're not going to get an injury. So you can physically go there yourself, which takes time, or you can pay I think it's a messenger, like a gopher type person, and you'll pay them to go there for you. So it takes none of your time on the clock, but you can go there and do business. There's also another place, I think it's like a merchant, or it's not the market. I keep thinking it's the market, but it's not. It's like the money something, the banksmith. That's what it is, the banksmith. So if you go there, you can actually buy equipment. So right now, all the Chapter 1 equipment's available. So if we want to buy, for example, another felling axe, we can. And the price of it is right here. It costs 1. So it's going to cost 1 iron to do this. So if we spend 4 iron, we can buy all the weapons that we currently have equipped with our characters, because I think each one of them costs 1. And so by doing so, remember at the end of the first encounter, we have to each destroy 1 item that is equipped. So we can just buy an item that we already have equipped and destroy it. And in doing so, we can replace it right away with the ones we just purchased. So basically, it's like a net loss of 0, other than you spent some iron to acquire them. So that's my mitigation plan that I had hinted at on how to overcome the fact that you have items that just disappear from your inventory. And like I said, at the end of every encounter, each character has to basically, due to wear and tear, they lose one of their equipped items. So I don't know if I want to spend 4 iron. That's 1/4 of everything I have just to have somebody show me around town. I'm assuming that, but if I do spend it, then I am going to save time. That's the part I think. Or I'm ignoring the boy and attempting to do it alone. Ugh. Wow, I actually think this is a tough, there's a part of me, I don't want to pay the 4 iron. But there's a part of me that's thinking this game's going to punish me hard if I don't do it. Because it seems like it's a hefty fee, but I'm guessing that there's a nice bonus for that fee. But I'm going to say, I'm going to ignore the boy, and I may regret this. Let's do this.
Dozens of streets and alleys spread out like a spider web from the town gates. You have lived in Verham, so a small gnarled bug like Bastone should be easy enough to find your way around. You are sure you'll be able to pick up the trail, and that there may even be a banksmith or apothecary to trade with for the supplies you may need for the hunt.
Oh, we're going to have to do a check. So we have to perform a reasoning check. Difficulty 5. That is not easy. All right, so it doesn't matter who does the check. We're doing a reasoning check, and of course we're going to either succeed or fail. We need a difficulty 5. So here's where the checks come in. All of our checks, we have to use the white cards. So I can say as many of these as I want. I can say 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to draw 5 of these cards and then reveal them. And we're going to do this for pretend. This is not going to be real. So let's say I want to do these 5 cards. I'm going to reveal them. And you can see I got a 2, which is a crit, a blank, a 2, a 1, and a 2. This is actually awesome. So I would have gotten 2, 4, 6. I got a 7. And this actually lets me draw another one. If I would have gotten 2 of these, then I automatically fail. It doesn't matter what those numbers say. And that's the important part about this, is that it gets little precarious. So the thing with the cards is there's a certain number of blanks in here. So you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blanks. And you're always allowed to look at the discard pile. Oh, I almost dropped the camera. Sorry. You're always allowed to look at the discard pile. So you know there's 6 blanks in this sucker. So if you did draw 2 blanks, then you know that you consumed 2 of the 6, right? You don't reshuffle these until the whole deck is gone, and until we go to chapter 2. So like if we were to go to chapter 2, then they get started fresh anew, right? So if we do this check and I draw 2 blanks, then of course I'm screwed. We failed, right? But those blanks are now out, and if you're card counting, you know that there's a higher chance that the rest of the cards are really good. I know there's 4 more blanks, but you get my point. And as like those blanks come out, your chances are better and better, and you know that the deck is more and more primed. So that's one way you can do it. The other way you can do it is we have these white dice. So I can, on the same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like I drew those 5 cards, right? So I can take 5 dice and I can roll them, and I did not get 2 blanks. So this is actually awesome. I rolled 2 crits. I mean, I rolled more than enough to succeed. Okay? Now, again, if 2 of these were blank, then I would have failed. Now, the problem with the dice is, I guess it's more exciting or whatever, but the dice can be blank every time. Like, there's an infinite number of blanks. You can roll that if you wanted, and next time you roll, it resets itself, right? So, actually, I'm rolling really well. I need to use one of these. So I need 5 points. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw, and then, we could do this. I can draw 3 cards and roll 2 dice. I can mix it. There's no limitation. I can say, hey, I'm going to draw 3 cards and roll 2 dice. I can do that too. The world's your oyster and how you want to do this. And in fact, that is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and roll the 2 dice. And I do have a blank. And look at that, blank, blank, and 2, so I failed. Now, if I had a re-roll token, I could have re-rolled one of these, but I don't. This is a crit, which means I get to draw again, or roll again, but I don't, there's no point. I failed. So, so we just used, like I said, the 2 of the blanks out of the 6 right there. And of course, I passed this test, the 3 times I demonstrated this to you. And then the one time I decided to do it for real, I fail. So this is not going to be good. I think the choosing not to pay 4 was fine, but now that I failed this test, we're going to get suffering. So here we go. Place location 15 and go there. So 15 is going on our timer, and that's where we have to go. And 15 is way over here in the middle of nothing. So this is not good.
Heading up the street you believe is the right choice, you push through crowds and navigate round huddled clumps of the homeless, squatting toad-like around small fires. The barking of vendors eventually gives way to sobbing and indistinct mewling noises as you enter a series of shadowed alleys. There are fewer and fewer people here, and darkness hugs the street as you make your way up a narrowing avenue. You approach a ragged cloaked figure as he daubs small white circles on the wall with paint-coated fingers. There are hundreds of them. He does not fully turn, but speaks in creaking tones over his shoulder. Have you seen it? Has it seen you? Do you know the truth that deep wood brings as we do? He turns, drawing a sickle from under his cloak. His distant gaze falls on you. The shadows burst with movement. With your attention drawn to the strange figure, you hadn't noticed the ambush you had walked into.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so we can go in the offensive and attack or threaten the gang. I think this is going to be another skill check. I don't want to lose hit points. Let's try to threaten the gang. All right, so we need to choose one Oathsworn to be the initiator. They perform a threatening check, difficulty 5. So we'll choose the penitent, and we got to do a skill check of 5. So I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to take 2 dice and 3 cards. Let's try one more time. All right, so here's my 2 dice roll. This time I'm rolling much better. It's a 1 and a 2. And then here's my 3 cards. That's a crit. That's a 1. And that's another crit. Okay, so this would mean I draw 2 more cards, but I don't want to draw more cards. I've more than passed, right? I already got 5 already. So I'm just going to roll these 2 dice. Now, you might be wondering, well, what if you get blanks? Anytime you roll for crit, you ignore the blanks. So they can never hurt you if it's a crit roll. So this, if this were my roll, I got 5 points here, and then that's a 6. So we would pass a strength 6 check. But in this case, we actually passed a 5 check. So we do succeed in this situation.
As the sickle rises, the closest of you casually steps up and backhands the man across the alley. He stumbles, crashing into the far wall and crumples to the ground, sickle clattering in the puddles of the street. 4 or 5 figures scurry fearfully back into the darkness and limp away, muttering excitedly, "They know! They know!" A quick search through the man's pouch finds a handful of iron.
Hey, we gain 1 iron each. That's excellent. So we get 4 more. So I'm just going to put 1 in and take a 5. And
You vow to stay more watchful in the streets of Bastogne as you move on. This city's layout is not the intricate lattice of streets found in Thrace or the vast thoroughfares of Verum. A few quick questions with the locals describe the local avenues.
so I think that 15 was wasted time because we failed the check. And if we would have passed, I think we would have gone here. But let's go ahead and do the instruction. So here we got 2, 3, 7, 12, 13, 14, 16, and 19. So there's a lot of stuff. So 2, 3. Oh, I should have done a better job of sorting these. All right, I found 13. I found 16. So I need 7 and 12 and 19, I believe. Oh, I found 19. I found 7. Just looking for that. There it is, elusive 12. All right, so see now it says place, right? but I don't think that means place on your timer. So I think what it's telling me to do, and that's a gripe I already have with the game, because place on the timer versus place on the map is two different things. So what I think it's doing is that we unlocked all of our locations here, right? So for example, 19 here is the Banksmith, and then 13 is the Broken Oak, 12 the Market, 7 is the Underways, 2 is the Archive, 3 is the Apothecary, and 16 is just nothing. So, all right. Let me grab this and bring it back. So we got to choose a location to go to, and I'm sure it's going to take time. It does say time 2 at the top, and we're on the second time. I think that's what that means. I don't know. So anyways, I believe that when we go to a location, we're going to then grab that token and it goes on our timer spot. So, like I said, 2 of those locations, the Apothecary and the Banksmith, are already described in the rule book, like what they do. And like I said, for 1 coin, we can pay a runner to go there and do those for us, and then it doesn't cost us time. Or we can just go there ourselves, and then of course it costs us time. Why is it 1 coin? Well, you might be thinking, well, that's cheap. You pay a number of coins based on what chapter you're on. So as we increase in chapter, that you're going to get more and more expensive to send a runner. So again, the Apothecary is going to help us. Like if we were to gain injuries, it's going to be extremely important to start jamming that deck with as many curatives as we can. I think it's not our priority for chapter 1, although I'm sure I'm going to regret it if I actually take injuries. The other one, where we buy some items, that's nice because remember, we're going to gain items, but we have to lose. And I know I've explained this before, so I apologize. I'm going through it again. But the thing is like, I'm very tempted to do it. And that's my issue. I don't know what the Market is and how that's different than the Banksmith, and that's location 12. The Broken Oak sounds like a tavern. Location, well, there's locations on here that we didn't grab. 12, 13, 14. Oh, I didn't grab 14. Whoops, sorry. I didn't grab location 14. That's a town square. I think we're good now. So 13, 14, 16. Okay, they're all here. All right. So this is where it gets interesting. Like, do we go to these like locations where there's nothing denoted there, or do we go to like places that that have meaningful stuff? I don't know. I'm in analysis paralysis again. We have plenty of time from the perspective of, I don't want to lose that extra unique item. So here's what we're going to do. We're not going to do Blacksmith or Apothecary. We know we can pay for a runner, and I may do that, but I'm not going to do it immediately. Let's, I want to go to the Market. So let's go to 12, because I always want to, we got money, and I want to see if there's something we can buy.
The market square is filled with vendors hawking wares from carts and tables. The sound of people shouting and the smell of smoked meats and root vegetables fill the air. Dozens of hunched and tired shoulders make their way up from one trade to the next. You split up and casually shop the meager supplies while keeping your eyes and ears open.
So we may trade 1 iron to gain a +2 Animus token. Oh, that's probably not a bad deal, but we already have one. So do we want another one? I'm torn. Absolutely torn. We did just gain 4 iron, so I don't know why I'm being such a miser. We refused to pay the boy, and then we gained 4 iron from the gang, and here I am refusing to pay 4 iron for this. I wanted to come here and buy stuff, so why am I not buying? I think it's because I already have these tokens. I mean, I don't think it's going to hurt to have another one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 2 iron. We're going to buy 2 of them, and then we'll just give 1 to 2 of our characters. So which 2 though? I think we're going to give 2 to the Warbear and 2 to the penitent. And the reason being is, I know we haven't gotten into how combat works, but it costs you 1 of these crystals just to move 1 space. And so since those are our tanks, they're going to be doing a lot of moving. Whereas like our archer doesn't have to move as much. So I'm thinking he's not going to spend as much. But I could be totally wrong. I'm just guessing.
After an hour, you regroup. The tales you hear shed some light on the situation, if only by the absence of anything specific. No one recalls a killing on this side of town. Everyone is tired. They complain of fearful dreams and eyes in the dark, keeping them awake at night. A tinkerer hung himself in his kitchen last night. Many blame the dreams for driving him mad, though others say it is just the way of the world.
Okay, so see how it says time 3 here? I'm a little bit of a loss, like when do I put a token and when don't I? I'm assuming I'm supposed to do a token here. But, because the timer went up and moving to a new location takes 1 unit at a time, no matter the distance on the map. Yeah, so when location tokens are placed on the time track, yeah. Okay, so we're on time 3, and in case you haven't noticed, we filled up 3 slots. Okay, so where do we want to go next? I want to go to I like the town square idea. I like the archive. I think the underways sounds nefarious. It's sort of like trying to join the Thieves Guild, right? Let's go to the archive.
You find the town archives and an irksome clerk named Milas. The deaths, I presume, the clerk says dismissively. I suppose you should follow me then. Everything is collected. You'll not find our numbers wanting. Move nothing. The records Milas helps you sort through deal with a large list of missing persons, a pile dedicated to what appears to be suicides, and a tally of the local dead, with the cause of death inked beside each name. The details are grisly, and some descriptions have no name attached, where only bits of bodies and blood trails were all that remained, yet left no doubt that there was a killing. I don't know why you bother with the peasantry and their ilk. Their numbers wax and wane like the sun, he says dismissively. What should be of concern is my timber figures. 9 cords of wood marked used last month for various reasons, mostly funerals. But records show only 7 cords being pulled in, 2 cords unaccounted for. What is the world coming to? Either the gatekeepers are not doing their job or someone's lying, and there's nothing worse than lying on a census. That's the real crime here.
Okay, that was dumb. So, I guess we got some information, but we didn't get anything cool out of that. Okay, so that just wasted some time. The next one's going to cause a city event. So I'm going to go to in every D&D, we should go to the inn, but I want to go to the town square first. So let's do that.
Smells of cooking pots and the sound of fervent bartering roll over you. Glancing around, you meet the eyes of the destitute peering from dark alleys and crooked doorways. The square itself seethes with people who retreat to give your party a wide berth when they notice you, creating an island in the rolling sea of bodies. You come to another area, bereft of people. At the heart of the square is a 10-foot-tall iron post driven permanently into the flagstones. Heavy links hang from welded bolts, and the large ring of black soot scores the area at its base. Others you have seen of this kind are made from wood. How many people are they burning to warrant one made of iron? You canvass the area and discover that this functions as a crossroads between East and West Bastone, and it seems no violent deaths have been discovered in West Bastone.
So, no deaths in West Bastone. So, the one nice thing there is, so I haven't been moving our marker around, but so we are going to trigger a city event, and I think we got to do that after we resolve this. But the key thing is it's saying that there's nothing to the west. So that means that the Underways or 16 are the two that we need to go to investigate the deaths. So we know that that's our ticket to finish things. So that's good. So let's do the instructions. So we gain clue token 2. And if we have clue token 1, we would get location 4, but we don't. Location 4 is just another in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so the clue tokens are in the same box where all the other numbered tokens are. And of course, I didn't bother putting them in order. So there's clue token 2. And this just goes on our party sheet. And I don't know what that does for us, but we have it. And then we choose a location to go to. And the game is pretty cool. It's keeping track of what's left. Okay, so we have to draw a city event. So let's do that. On the side of the street, a fableman sits before an amber fire telling his stories to a captivated crowd and making grand gestures as he weaves his tales. Do you stop to listen, turn card over, continue on, archive this event? Which I think archive, I'll have to look, I think it means out of the game. I think if I stop to listen, it's going to take up another time. Ooh. I don't know. We'll go ahead and listen. You pause at the edge of the fire, and the man recognizes your apparel. He shifts his story to one of a great free company from the dawn of the Dark Age, and accounts of the slaying of Arden Troll. The story is well told, and it finishes. You consider throwing him a few flocks of iron. Each Oathsworn may lose 2 iron to gain a... Wow, I can't even tell what that symbol is. I mean, I see the arrow. So let's look at our symbols here. There's 2 of them that have the arrows. There's this one, which is an empowerment. And then there's this one, which is reroll a die. So I'm going to put these side by side for you. Now you tell me what that symbol is on that card. I can't tell. My eyesight is horrible. There we go. That's an empowerment. When I zoom in like that, that's this one. Okay, empowerment's pretty good. So this is empowerment times 3. What does that mean? Well, remember how we said that this means you get to draw a yellow. Empowerment times 3 is I can upgrade that yellow to a red. That would be a 1 empowerment. And then I can upgrade that red to a black, which would be 2 empowerment. And then I can take one of my whites and upgrade it to a yellow, and that would be 3. So I basically get to take 3 of my cards or dice and upgrade it to the next color level. And so that would be 2 iron each, though. That's a hefty price. We're going to be spending 8 iron to get those. Oh, they're so nice, though. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be a miser. I don't know why, but I want to hold on to my money right now. So yeah, I'm not going to do it. And the good news is there's no time lost, which is what I was worried about. So I'm assuming the card gets archived, And I'm going to pause real quick and just make sure that that really means out of the game. Okay, so archive means put it back in its initial storage position. So that would mean put it back in the events box. So if you take these events, we can put it in. This is event number 4, so it just goes in here along with all the other events that are archived. So it's not like permanently out of the game, but it's definitely not in the game now, right? So, okay, so we're here. See this token? This is the Empower token. And so if we can finish right now before we go here, we're going to get one for free, and that's everybody in the party. And that would have cost us 8 iron to get. So that's why I'm thinking if I can just finish here. And so we know that anything to the west we can't do. So let's go east. And we can either go to the underways, which is labeled, or this 16, which is in the middle of nowhere. And I think between the two, I'm going to go to the middle of nowhere. Because that's, you know, Sherlock Holmes. That's where all the deaths are, right? You know, the red shirts would go there, not to the underways. So that's what I want to do. Now is the time, though. I have to decide, am I going to pay for a runner? So the big thing with the runner is because I know I have to destroy items that I need to equip. You know, I can always just buy items next time. I know I'm not a big fan of that. I'm going to hold on to the money. We're not going to pay for the runner, but we are going to go to 16. So I'm going to go ahead and move this over. We're going to put this on our time track here, and we're going to hope that we guessed right so we can get this bonus.
Rain trickles from an ill-hanging sign proclaiming this to be the watering hole. It is an apt name for this place, or at least the last part is. You enter the inn to the sight of gritty faces and dirty mugs. From the look of the men, this must be one of the dives of the underways workers. You hold out your hand, palm up, giving the pot's peace gesture to indicate you want no trouble and make your way to the bar. Eyes flash to the free company marks on your wrists as you pass. You approach the innkeeper and ask what he knows of the deaths. I know I'm losing the pool. Jimmy, you're supposed to be dead by now. He shouts over your shoulder to a man in the corner. Men chuckle and go back to their drinks. Lost 3 good patrons this month. Randall swear he knows. Wait, perhaps you can help that dunce. You want to know what he knows? He's at the stocks. Try to get him out, will you? He's not a bad lad. He just doesn't know when to keep his mouth shut round the guards.
Boy, we made the wrong choice there, didn't we? So now we got location 20. So we're not going to get the free token. Darn it, darn it, darn it. It's not the end of the world, but that was worth 8 iron if we would have paid the other guy. So this is the stockade. So we can go there, free this guy, or we can go to the underways. Well, now that we hosed ourselves from getting that token, we got 3 more time left. So let's go ahead and go to 20. So I will go here to the stockade. And so we cover up the gain token item, and we will go to location 20.
There are 5 stockades in the circle. Only one is currently occupied. A soggy young man with thick curly red hair sits dejectedly in the rain. A solitary guard leans under an archway, not far off, paying little heed. At the sight of you, the man brightens. Psst, hey, can you help me? Honest, I didn't do nothing. It's the guards, corrupt as witchcraft. Iron's more important than blood to them. You're free company, right? You can do what you want. Come on, just lift that pin and I'll do anything. You have the power to requisition this man if he has what you need.
Ooh. Fine, let's free him. Why not?
You easily pull the iron latch pin from the stockade. He massages his wrists. Pot's peace shine upon you, my friends. I owe you. You tell him what you need and he readily agrees to tell you what he knows. There's this old body collector over in the burrows. He's had me looking for a buyer for a story he's telling. Says he knows who's responsible for the deaths. He'll want paying proper, though.
Two paths lay before you. Do you try to find this informant and see what he knows, or do you search the town for the other clues to the murders? You do not have time to do both. If you have less than 6 iron, you must choose to search the town for the murders. 6 iron. Oof. Well, I'm glad I saved the money. I think they should go to the informant. Yeah, that's going to cost me 6 iron, but I'm running out of time and I do not want to lose that unique item. So let's do the informant. Remove all location tokens and go to location 24. Or place location 24 and go there. All right, so everything else is out. There was only 3 other locations anyways. And then we'll place 24. That is another city event we're going to have to deal with. So do we go there first or do we do the city event? I'm not sure about the timing on that. Let me check again real quick. It does say draw and resolve a city card. When a token is placed in a space, they're resolved immediately. Okay, so let's do it immediately before we click on location 24. So here's our next city event. Man is surrounded by a small group of observers to play a game of cups for 2 iron each with 2-to-1 odds. Cups is a speed game you have seen before. You just have to guess which of the 3 cups the ball is under. Each Oathsworn chooses if they want to play the game. Do you play the game or move on? Oh, let's play. Each Oathsworn that chooses to play performs a speed check, difficulty 6. If everyone fails, each Oathsworn who plays loses 2 iron. If any succeed, all Oathsworn gain 2 iron as you catch the man in the act. All right, well, I think I was supposed to, I was supposed to decide who was going to play before I turned it over. My apologies, folks. I missed that instruction. I did that in ISS Vanguard as well, and it's just a habit of mine. So with that being said, all 4 of them will go ahead and do this because I didn't say who would do it. So we got to do a check of 6. And we could do the cards, or I can keep doing what I was doing before, so 2 dice and 3 cards. I just feel like my chances of getting a blank on these dice is really high. 2 sides of them. So I think I'm going to go strictly cards. And I need a 6, so let's start with Wombat Girl. So here's the deck. She is going to draw 4. We know that 4 of these are blank. So let's do it. She got a 2 and 2 blanks and a 2, so she failed. So we got 1 fail, and then 4 of the blanks are gone. And what does the card say? If all Oathsworns fail, each Oathsworn who played loses 2 iron. If any of them succeed, all Oathsworn gain 2 iron as you catch the man in the act. Okay, so here's the next one. We're going to do 4 again. There's a blank, there's a 1, a 2, and a 1, and it's not enough. That's only a 4, so we failed. So we have 5 of the 6 blanks. We know that of these 3 cards, only 1 of them is a blank. The problem is, we're guaranteed 1 of them is a blank. So that was our 2nd character. Now we're on our 3rd character. I'm going to go ahead and roll 2 dice with this, and we're going to reveal the last 3. So the last 3, like we said, we know 1 of them is a blank. So I can't roll any blanks here. And I did. So it's another fail. So now we have to shuffle all these cards because we used up the whole deck. And we're on our last character. What on earth? What did I do? I like drew 3 times and we passed these checks with millions of points. So now I'm at a spot where I need 6. It's 6, right? Yes, I need 6. And I'm failing 3 times in a row. All right, so do I do the cards? Or do I mean, 6 of these are blank. The chances are really high that if I draw 5 of these cards, I'm going to get 2 blanks on all this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, there's a crit, there's another crit, and only 1 blank. Oh my gosh. 2, 4, 5, 6. These 2 would let me, do this. I rolled 2 blanks, it doesn't matter. I got my 6, so I actually passed, which meant that I caught him. And then it says all Oathsworn get 2. So only 1 blank was in there, and I already drew both of the crits. So that's not good, actually. Okay. The rules do say what it means when you're gaining iron. The all has me confused, though, and I know it says, like it straight up tells you, if you're gaining an iron, there's keywords. Here we go. Dang it. I'm going to have to pause real quick. There's a clarification that explains, like, is everybody getting iron or is it just 2 iron total? And they do clarify it somewhere in here. I just can't remember where it was. It's not in the gaining iron section, though. Okay, it is in the FAQ at the end. So for the story questions, if I am told to gain X iron, do I share that amongst the company? And it's right here. So it says, yes, the X represents the total reward. If you're told each or all Oathsworn gains X iron, then each Oathsworn gains that amount. And so this says, if any succeed, any, which means just one of them, all Oathsworn gain 2. So that means we're actually getting 2, 4, 6, 8 iron. That is excellent. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back in the box. Although it doesn't say archive after those, I'm going to have to check, like, does that mean it stays? Like, where does it go? But I'm going to give myself 8 more iron. I'm a miser. I like my money, folks. So here we are. We did our event. Now, let me put the camera down. I know that. Look at all the fingerprints on this thing. Let's bring this up. Location.
You find the informant on the other side of town as daylight begins to wane. He's not much to look at, just another grimy face. He nervously shifts from foot to foot outside a ramshackle terrace. Behind him, you can see what must be his family peering nervously from a window. They look hungry. You need words. We need food. I'll tell you what you're needing.
We need food. 3 iron. Try to barter. Give the man what he asks for and a little something extra. His family looks like they need it. I think that's the 6 iron there. Threaten the man. I don't know what try to... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So try to barter means that, to me, like, I'm going to try to, like, pay him less than 3. We said we would stand by the innocent and blah, blah, blah. So let's do that. Lose 6 iron. There it is. All Oathsworn gain an empowered ×3 token. There you go. So we were told we could pay 8 iron for one of these, and we got them for 6. All right, I like that. All right, so empower ×3 is exactly what... Oh, I apologize. This is the empower token. See the cube with the up arrows? That other one, well, let me, hold on. It's in the instructions. Let me just, yeah. Okay, that die is redraw. That's the empower token. So the thing we could have paid 8 for was a battle flow token. You may spend one or more of these tokens. For each token spent, battle flow all cards. That means nothing to you because we haven't done combat yet, but that's pretty powerful. So yes, we could have paid 8 to get a battle flow token, not an empower, but actually the empower is the one that I like more at the moment. And that's what we just got. So I'm happy with that. All right.
I don't know what to say. Thank you, and those who watch over you. Lost my little girl, Esper, a week back. The man utters a tear in his eye. This might just save the rest. It's the dead you need to find. People live, people die. He gestures to the wretched homeless, lining the alley on either side of the street. When they do, the collector comes to clear. Used to be me. Take bodies, take names, if they add any, and burns them. No sickness then. Burning's expensive, though. Hard to find people to go out to the deep wood and cut it, especially after that lot didn't come back. Collector gets his iron for each body he cleans from the streets. Costs nothing just to throw a body over the wall. Not right, though. That ain't the job. That cur Jeffet undercut me and got the work, but I've seen him going to the wall and paying those guards on the eastmost tower. They look the other way and over they go. You find the bodies, you'll find the answers. And if you happen to kill that whore's son who stole my livelihood, then good riddance.
Well, his name's Jeff, or Jeffet. I mean, come on, he can't be that bad. All right, let's go. 11, 17, and 25. We are precariously close to losing our unique item, and I'm getting annoyed now because I wanted to move on here. 11. Where's 11? 11 is the tower on the west side, and 25. Come on, where's 25? Oh, we already put out 25. 17 is the tower on the east side. So if I remember correctly, I thought it was the tower on the east side that he mentioned. So that cur undercut me and got the work. He's been going to the wall and paying those guards at the eastmost tower. Yeah, so that's 17. So I don't know if this is just a red herring that, you know, if I'm not paying attention, we're going to go to location 11. So we're going to go to 17.
You know you won't be able to find the collector before nightfall, but you know exactly where the guards will be. Catching sight of the tower the man told you of, you head for the outer wall. The weather is worsening, and rain runs down the stairway leading up to Bastion's outer wall. You ascend the grey stone steps in search of the guards. It does not take long to find them. A squad is hunched round a brazier of slow-burning amber, water tapping off their iron pot helms. You close the distance, shouting through the rain. "Are you the night watch?" "Who's asking?" One of them grunts, giving you a brief sidelong glance before returning to the fire. Then he looks back, eyeing the mark on your wrists. Understanding dawns on him, and his eyes widen in fear. He goes to draw his sword as the other four turn to face you.
Right, so do we threaten them, barter with them, or reason? I think reason's going to be a check, so let's try to barter. I don't want to get into a fight.
You open your hand, showing iron. The squad leader looks at it for a moment, then smirks. "Think we'd trust you? You'd kill us the second we talked," he says as he draws his blade. "Men bleed 'em." Having no choice but to protect their secret, they attack.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Perform a round of combat against defense 4. Okay, so this is just like a skill check, except we get to use our might. And everybody has to do the combat. And so all 4 characters will do it, and you got to get 4 in order to pass. The thing is if you fail, I thought that the effect was going to be told to us by the app. It doesn't say what happens if we fail here, so give me a second. I'm looking it up. The check is the easy part. So round of combat, each Oathsworn must draw a single attack. Combat tokens may be used. The player draws any number of might cards. Of course, if 2 or more blanks are drawn, you miss. Oathsworn always defeat their enemies during a round of combat. However, anyone that fails loses 1 hit point. That's what I was trying to avoid. Okay, so what does this mean? Well, we're going to start with Mr. Bear here. And he has the yellow cube, so he gains a yellow card for that. The white cards are already missing the crits. And crits let you do more. So I'm actually not going to do cards this time. We're going to do a yellow and 3 whites. We only need to get a 4. I'm actually going to do a yellow and 2 whites, I think. I could get a 1-1-1, which would suck. But I'm going to take my chance that I can get a 4. I don't want to get 2 blanks. That's my issue. So let's try it. So there's a 2 crit, and there's a 2. And then this is a blank. But we've already got our 4, but just to show you how the crit works, that would be a 6, and then because that's a crit, we get to roll another one, and then that doesn't hurt us. So 2, 4, 6, that's more than 4, so he passes. So then we're going to move on to the Penitent. Now the Penitent doesn't have the yellow die, so we're going to roll 4 of these. And we rolled 1, 2, 3, and a blank. We failed. So the Penitent's going to lose 1 health. He goes down to 5, unfortunately. All right, and then we're going to move to everybody else has a yellow. So we're now on Andrew. There's 2, 3, 4, 5. So Andrew passes. And then this is the Yagiria. And oh my gosh, 1, 2, 3 blanks, so she loses a health. Losing 2 health is not good. Everything I understand about this boss is he's not easy, and losing all this health is not helping us. But we succeeded with 2, we failed with 2. Like it says, no matter what, you always win. It's just whether you take the damage.
Their blood over the lip of the wall and down the staircase. The bodies of the guards lay scattered around you. You did not get their confession, but justice was served. Leaving their equipment for the next guards who stand there, you begin to trudge along the wall, looking for the place where the bodies were dumped. You come to a point in the parapet where faint bloodstains can be seen on the crenellations. Peering over the wall, you find what you have been looking for. At its base are the thick wooden stakes used in all settlements to ward off the denizens of the deep wood. Among these stakes is also a matted mass of blood-soaked grass and earth, in the centre of which is a small mound of corpses. You imagine these are fresh, as this much meat would not last longer than a day in the deep wood. This flesh pile is what calls the thing or things to the town. Oddly, you also see a rope hanging down from the parapet. Looking between the branches and limbs of the black trees, you can make out a figure. What could possess a person to go into the deep wood alone? You have no time to ponder as the figure rushes back towards the wall. Then you see them. A pack of giant rats the size of wolves enter your view, galloping across the space. A horde of festering fur and yellow teeth close on a man in guard's uniform. He won't make it, and he knows it. He turns and bellows defiantly at the rats as they hiss back.
Well, the rats are what we want for the fight. Oh my gosh, so we can give the man for dead and throw explosive amber, which would probably give us an advantage on the start of the fight. But hey, we said we were paladins here, so we're going to climb down the wall and come to the man's aid. So all Oathsworn gain a redraw token. That's excellent. So a redraw are these, and what that does is we can take one of our blanks and redraw a card or re-roll a die or whatever it is that we choose to do. So, okay, that's that.
You know the chance of him being alive when you reach the bottom is slim, but you have to try. Jumping from the wall, you grip the rope to slow your descent. It burns your hands and you grip back the pain. As you reach the ground, he is still alive. A tremendous twitching rat lays dead at his feet. The brood is circling him, though, heads low and ready to pounce.
Perform a round of combat against defense 3. If 2 or more Oathsworn deal less damage than the defense value, the guard dies. Ooh. So that means if we do the blanks, we are in trouble. So it's 3. I'm going to go ahead and roll 3 dice. Getting 2 blanks is low odds here, but let's try it. And there's the 2 blanks, right? And so we got ourselves a 2 and 2 blanks. So I could use my token now, and I think I will, because I want to succeed. And there we go. So there's our 4. I'm not going to roll for the crit. I've already passed. So he succeeded. And now the next one, we don't have a yellow. This is the penitent. And look at that. I got his 3. He succeeded. He has a crit. So 2 of them have already succeeded. But we need 1 more to succeed in order for the guard to not die. So let's do 1 more. So now we're on Andrew. And he got a 4. He more than succeeded. And I apologize. I got a wooden table here, and there's this... this keeps rattling. And my apologies that it's making so much noise. All right. So my elbow is sticking to it, sweaty or whatever. Okay, and then the last one is the archer. And the archer failed again, which means that she would take another hit point loss. I don't want any of them to fail. So I'm going to pay the redraw token on the archer because I don't want to lose another hit point. This is horrible because you want to save your tokens for the combat. But we're doing so much... Oh, gosh. There's another fail. So the archer is now down to 4 health. That's not good. But it is what it is. And the only good news is it's the archer, so chances are maybe she'll be the least attacked of all the people. That's my son, by the way. And so... here we go. The guard survives.
The man leans on his sword, visibly shaking, then stands straight, collecting himself. You saved my life. Thank you. The man turns to you as he cleans himself up. I'm Dane. I had to try and save her. Stupid to think I could. There were so many of them. For weeks now, they've been throwing bodies off the wall, and I was too cowardly to stop them. Then they threw her over. She was still alive. I saw her crawling. Then the rats came and dragged her into the trees. She may still be alive. Help me. Help her. You inspect one of the rat corpses as he explains. You note the length of the tail, the colour of the teeth, and the clawed paws. This was a pup, not full grown. You know rats have dozens of pups. Dozens. Where's the mother, though? A woman's scream pierces the deep wood behind you. You're about to find out.
So we got to reveal the encounter special rules board. Mark the special rules box for chapter 1 on your free company sheet. So what this is saying is on the free company sheet, so we're in chapter 1, we get to reveal these special rules. That's what the check mark means. And right now we're getting the unique item because time still hasn't passed. So I'm excited about that. So what does that mean? And I will show you. So we know this is public information. So you know that you're going up against the brood mother. Okay? That part you can see. There's not much information though. All the information about the brood mother's on this. So when you go into battle, this is a secret. And then you have to configure your cards, make your choices. And what this is saying is that we get to reveal the special rules. So that means we get to see all the abilities it has and what kind of dice it's going to roll, how much its armor is, and then what the giant rats do. So this information is now available to us, and so that's what happened there, is that got revealed. Okay, so let's keep going. Let Dane join you in the hunt? Yeah, of course. Gain ally card 3 and Deepwood event card 7 to your event deck. Okay, so we got a little bit of maintenance to do here. So the allies, there's an ally card 3, and there he is. Da, 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 da. We got Dane. So he's now traveling with us. And remember, the allies don't help us unless one of us goes down. So he's just some guy, but he's more powerful than the ones we started with. So that's the part that's nice. And then Deepwood Event 7 and City Event 17. So I got City Event 17. And then, of course, I have some extra sleeves here. And I guess we'll have to shuffle that in. And Deepwood Event 7, that's another deck of cards. And again, I have to sleeve it. And that goes there. All right. Continue.
You look off to the tree line and check your compass. This item is near sacred to you, as well as all free companies. It is the only chance you have of navigating your way back. After you enter the Deepwood, you steel yourself and head in.
All Oathsworn gain a redraw token. Okay, we got screwed. We lost our unique item. I'm not happy. I'm ready to start the game over.
The trail is not hard to follow. The sickly brush is torn and trampled by many feet. A few hundred yards from the city walls, you come across a large circular depression littered with scraps and bones. Then you see her, the hulking rat-like form of the broodmother. She is twice the height of a man. Her back undulates with rats that swarm around her. At her feet is the torn body of a woman, evidently the source of the scream. This must be the woman Dane was looking for. The broodmother lifts her huge snout, testing the air. Her great head of rotten fur and gnawing teeth rolls towards you, and with ravenous hunger, her eyes meet yours.
So we open mystery box 1, because we do have the mystery chest. And then we proceed to chapter 1 encounter in the encounter book. Okay. The time is 9. And even though it told us to put a timer on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 means that this isn't on. So that means we get the extra unique item. I don't know what we did that...
The trail is not hard to follow.
I mean, it's repeating itself, but...
Torn and trampled
see,
by many feet.
The time is 9, though.
City walls, you come across a large
I'm desperately trying to get my unique item here, folks. I understand it's telling me to put a timer thing on, but it's telling me the time is 9, not 10.
Rats that swarm around her. At her feet is the torn body of a woman, evidently the source of the scream. This must be the woman Dane was looking for. The broodmother lifts her huge...
I'm pausing. We've already done this. I'm actually confused. So if it says time 9, and it told me to put an hourglass on, it should say time 10. So I don't know if there's a bug or if there's something unintentional going on. Which one is the source of truth here? Which one do I trust? I want to trust the 9 because I want the unique item, folks. Okay. I think, because it's a solo game, I can do whatever the heck I want. I mean, obviously the order of things we did, we could have not done this because this didn't do anything for us. That was just something that's a lesson learned. Like next time, never go to the dang archive. So anyways, I obviously welcome your thoughts on what you think was supposed to be done here. But here, you can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if we put the timer marker, it should say 10. So anyways, cardinal rule of playing a solo game is you can always just do it differently. And I want the unique item. That's all I'm saying. So we're going to do that. And I'm just going to, what did Will Wheaton call it? The Rule 19B or something like that. This is how you keep the game fun. So the game is fun if I get the unique item. So that's what we're doing. All right, so here we go. Oh, there it is, time 10. So it is correct. Dang it, we don't get the unique item. All right. Timer is 10. So after the encounter, continue to the epilogue. All right, so we're supposed to resolve the encounter. Well, we're going to go ahead and cancel that. So we will do that in the next video. I won't be able to do that tonight. So we got to set up the encounter. And I'm assuming there's an encounter book I got to go look at to know where to put pieces and all that jazz. So there you have it. We made it through the story mode. Couple of questions along the way, but I don't think they were too bad. The timer thing was the only thing I was confused on, and then it eventually updated itself. I'm extremely sad we don't get the extra unique item. Obviously, a Chapter 1 unique item is probably not going to be all that fantastic, but they're probably way better than the items that we have now. So, anyways, we can put the map away. We put our stuff away. And then we will set up the encounter, which I'm assuming is going to be on the wood side of this board. And we will do that in the next video. So we'll get out the encounter book and figure out what we need to do to set it up. And we'll see you on the other side. As always, thanks for watching and stay awesome.